Hey guys, so today I'm going to read 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. So let's start with the Law 45. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone understands the need for change in the abstract, but on the day to day level, people are creatures of habit. Too much innovation is traumatic and will lead to revolt. If you are new to a position of power or an outsider trying to build a power base, make a show of respecting the old way of doing things. If change is necessary, make it feel like a gentle improvement on the past. Keys to power. Human psychology contains many dualities, one of them being that even while people understand the need for change, knowing how important it is for institutions and individuals to be occasionally renewed, they are also irritated and upset by changes that affect them personally. They know that change is necessary and that novelty provides relief from boredom, but deep inside they cling to the past. Change in the abstract or superficial change they desire, but a change that upsets core habits and routines is deeply disturbing to them. No revolution has gone without a powerful later reaction against it, for in the long run, the void it creates proves too unsettling to the human animal, who unconsciously associates such voids with death and chaos. The opportunity for change and renewal seduces people to the side of the revolution, but once their enthusiasm fades, which it will, they are left with a certain emptiness. Yearning for the past, they create an opening for it to creep back in. For Machiavelli, the prophet who preaches and brings changes, can only survive by taking up arms. When the masses inevitably yearn for the past, he must be ready to use force, but the armed prophet cannot last long unless he quickly creates a new set of values and rituals to replace the old ones and to soothe the anxieties of those who dread change. It is far easier and less bloody to play a kind of con game. Preach change as much as you like and even react your reform, but give them the comforting appearance of older events and traditions. A simple gesture like using an old title or keeping the same number for a group will tie you to the past and support you with the authority of history. Another strategy to disguise change is to make a loud and public display of support for the values of the past. Seem to be a zealot for tradition, and few will notice how unconventional you really are. Re- Renaissance. Renaissance uh, fluential you really are. Renaissance Florence had a centuries old republic and was suspicious of anyone who flouted its traditions. Cosimo de' Medici made a show of enthusiastic support for the republic while in reality he worked to bring the city under the control of his wealthy family. In form, the Medicis retained the appearance of a republic; in substance they rendered it powerless. They quietly enacted a radical change while appearing a safeguard tradition. The answer to people's innate conservatism is to play lip service to tradition. Identify the elements in your revolution that can be made to seem to build on the past. Say the right things, make a show of conformity, and meanwhile let your theories do their radical work. Finally, powerful people pay attention to the Zeitgeist. If their reform is too far ahead of its time, few will understand it and it will stir up anxiety and be hopelessly misinterpreted. The changes you make must seem less innovative than they are. Watch the Zeitgeist if you work in a tumultuous time. There is power to be gained by preaching a return to the past to comfort tradition and ritual. During a period of stagnation, on the other hand, play the card of reform and revolution. But beware of what you stir up. Those who finish a revolution are barely those who start it. Image: the cat, creature of habit, it loves the warmth of familiar upset its routines, disrupt its pace, and it will grow manageable and psychotic. Placate it by supporting its rituals if change is necessary. Deceive the cat by keeping the smell of the past alive. Place objects familiar to it in strategic locations. He who desires or attempts to reform the government of a state and wishes to have it accepted must at least retain the semblance of the old forms, so that it may seem to the people that there has been no change in the institutions, even though in fact they are entirely different from the old ones. For the great majority of mankind are satisfied with appearance as though they were realities. Niccolo Machiavelli, 1469 to 1527. So this is 45, law 45, and now we are going to read law 46. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Judgment. Appearing better than others is always dangerous. Oh shit. I didn't know about this law. But most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It is smart to occasionally display defects. Okay. And admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impurity. It's true. So basically, we have to show them, like, yes, we are like this. We have some defects. Only show your weaknesses. Okay. Keys to power. The human animal has a hard time dealing with feelings of inferiority. In the face of superior skill, talent, or power, we are often disturbed and ill at ease. This is because most of us have an inflated sense of ourselves, and when we meet people who surpass us, they make it clear to us that we are in fact mediocre, or at least not as brilliant as we had thought. This disturbance in our self image cannot last long without stirring up ugly emotions. At first, we feel envy, but envy brings us neither comfort nor any closer to equality. Nor can we admit to feeling it, for it is frowned upon socially. To show envy is to admit to feeling inferior, so we disguise it in many ways, like finding grounds to criticize the person who makes us feel it. There are several strategies for dealing with the insidious destructive emotion of envy. First, understand that as you gain power, those below you feel envious of you. They may not show it, but it is inevitable. Do not naively accept the facade they show you. Read between the lines of their criticisms, their little sarcastic remarks, the signs of backstabbing. Read between the lines of their criticisms, their little sarcastic remarks, the sign of backstabbing, the excessive praise that is preparing you for a fall, the resentful look in the eye. Half the problem with envy comes when we do not recognize it until it is so too late. Second, accept that when people envy you, they will work against you insidiously. Hmm. They will put obstacles in your path that you will not foresee. It is hard to defend yourself against this kind of attack, since it is far easier to avoid creating envy in the first place than to get rid of it once it is there. There should it is there. You should strategize to forestall it before it grows by becoming conscious of those actions and qualities that create envy. You can take the teeth out of it before it nibbles you to death. A great danger in the realm of power is the sudden improvement in fortune, and an unexpected promotion, a victory or success that seems to come out of nowhere. This is sure to stir up envy among your former peers. Where I was. A great danger in the realm of power is the sudden improvement in fortune and an unexpected promotion or victory or success that seems to come out of nowhere. This is sure to stir up envy among your former peers. When Archbishop Retz was promoted to the rank of cardinal in 1651, he knew full well that many of his former colleagues envied him. Understanding the foolishness of alienating alienating those below him, Retz did everything he could to downplay his merit and emphasize the role of luck in his success. To put people at ease, he acted humbly and deferentially as if nothing had changed. He wrote that these wise policies produced a good effect by lessening the envy which was conceived against me. Follow Red's example, subtly emphasize how lucky you have been to make your happiness seem more attainable to other people and the need for envy less acute. To deflect envy, display a weakness, a minor social indiscretion, a harmless vice. But I have read somewhere, never say your weaknesses. Where is that? Okay, okay. So basically, uh, show your weaknesses, act dumb, or be a show your defects in a little bit of time. Okay, so show your defects in a time to time. Show your defects to your people so that they won't judge you. They will still realize that yes, this person has some defects, so there is no need to envy. Okay, but think about it. Think about it. I'm telling you guys, according to this law, if we showed our weaknesses, don't you think one of our enemies will think that okay, this is his weakness, so I'm going to grow this weakness. Then what will we do? So the first thing is show your weaknesses. Okay, and if we do that, we will reduce the number of enemies of ourselves that we are going to create by envy. Okay, second, those enemies that we have, we must, you know, we must aware of them. We must there is also some lines that he said already, right? Read between the lines, you know, read between the lines of their criticisms, their little sarcastic remarks, the signs of backstabbing, the excessive praise that is preparing you for a fall, and the presentful look in the eye. Half the problem with envy comes when we do not recognize it until it is too late. Yeah, after recognizing it, what will we do? After recognizing it, we can do like we can leave that person, we can say that person to stay away from me. That is good. Okay. So it is good to show your defects among your peers so that they won't become your enemy. Okay. Beware of some of envy's disguise. Excessive praise is an almost sure sign that the person praising you envies you. Excessive praise is an almost sure sign that the person praising you envies you. They are either setting you up for a fall, it will be impossible for you to live up to their praise. Or they are sharpening their blades behind your back. At the same time, those who are hypercritical of you or who slander you publicly probably envy you as well. Recognize their behavior as disguised envy and you keep out of the trap of mutual mudslinging or of taking their criticism to heart. Win your revenge by ignoring or avoiding their measly presence, leaving them to stew in a hell of their own creation. Yeah. Okay. So basically we need to ignore them and leave them. Okay. Thank God he didn't suggest me to kill them. Image. A garden of weeds. You may not feed them, but they spread as you water the garden. You may not see how, but they take over tall and ugly, preventing anything beautiful from flourishing. Before it is too late, do not water indiscriminately. Destroy the weeds of envy by giving them nothing to feed on. Okay. This is good. Actually, I understood this law very well. Okay, first, if you are among your peers and if you are showing your let's say your teacher is praising you and your friends are envied, you must keep in mind that your friends are envy first of all, and second you have to look for those traits, those qualities that are they backstabbing you, are they sarcastically criticizing you, or they praising you very well. Like, if they are doing these things, ignore them, just ignore them. If you do this, then you are able to avoid the creation that they are creating to destroy you. Okay, very good. So this is the problem they have given here, and this is the solution, and the solution is very simple. But the problem goes bigger when the envious person, they come with their gang to teach you a lesson. That's when things go wrong. Okay, and I don't really know what to do in that situation, but I have one idea. Learn self-defense so that you can defend yourself. Upon occasion, reveal a harmless defect in your character. For the envious accused, the most perfect of sinning by having no sins, they become an Argus, all eyes for finding fault with excellence. It is their only consolation. Do not let envy burst with its own venom. Okay, do not let envy burst with its own venom effect some lapse in valor or intellect, so as to disarm it beforehand. You thus wave your red cape before the horns of envy. You thus wave your red cape before the horns of envy, in order to save your immortality. Balster-Garshon, 1601 to 1658. Actually, I really like the Law 46. Huh? So this is Law 47 and then Law 48. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for in victory. Learn when to stop, okay? Judgment. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for, and by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. By going too far, you make more enemies. Do not allow success to go to your head. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. There is no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal, and when you reach it, stop. Okay, my goal is to reach. Okay, I'm not going to share. Keys to power. Power has its own rhythm and patterns. Those who succeed at the game are the ones who control the patterns and vary them at will, keeping people off balance while they set the tempo. The essence of strategy is controlling what comes next. The essence of strategy is controlling what comes next, and the elation of victory can upset your ability to control what comes next in two ways. First, you owe your success to a pattern that you are apt to try to repeat. You will try to keep moving in the same direction without stopping to see whether this is still the direction that is best for you. Second, success tends to go to your head and make you emotional. Feeling invulnerable, you make aggressive moves that ultimately undo the victory you have gained. The lesson is simple. The powerful vary their rhythms and patterns, change their course, adapt to circumstances, and learn to improvise. Rather than letting their dancing feet impel them forward, they step back and look where they are going. Hmm. It is it is as if their bloodstream bore a kind of antidote uh, to the intoxication of victory, letting them control their emotions and come to a kind of mental halt when they have attained success. When they have attained success, they steady themselves, give themselves the space to reflect on what has happened, examine the role of circumstance and luck in their success. Luck and circumstance always play a role in power, but despite what you may think, good luck is more dangerous than bad luck. Bro, I'm telling you, this book will make you sometimes confused just like this. Like, the, read this. Luck and circumstance always play a role in power, okay? But despite what you may think, good luck is more dangerous than bad luck. I mean, good luck is more dangerous than bad luck. It reminds me of a movie which called Luck, created by Apple Movies. Yeah, bad luck teaches valuable lessons about patience, timing, and need. Okay, and the need to be prepared for the worst. Good luck deludes you into the opposite lesson, making you think your brilliance will carry you through. Your fortune will inevitably turn, and when it does, you will be completely unprepared. The good luck that elevates you or seals your success bring the moment for you to open your eyes. The wheel of fortune will hurtle you down as easily as up. If you prepare for the fall, it is less likely to ruin you when it happens. Rather, the rhythm of power often requires an alternation of force and cunning. Too much force creates a counter reaction. Too much cunning, no matter how cunning it is, becomes predictable. When you are victorious, then lay low and full and lull the enemy into inaction. Okay. These changes of rhythm are immensely powerful. People who go past the mark are often motivated by a desire to please a master by proving their dedication. No, it's just last 2 weeks. I mean, from the last 2 weeks, I'm okay. No. People who got past the mark are often motivated by a desire to please a master by effort exposes you to the risk of making the master suspicious of you. On several occasions, General under Philip of Macedon were disgraced and demoted immediately after leading their troops to a great victory. Why? One more such victory, Philip thought, and the man might become a rival instead of an underling. When you serve a master, it is often wise to measure your victories carefully, letting him get the glory and never making him uneasy. It is also wise to establish a pattern of strict obedience to earn his trust. Finally, the moment when you stop has great dramatic import. What comes last sticks in the mind as a kind of exclamation point. There is no better time to stop and walk away than after a victory. Keep going and you risk lessening the effect, even ending up defeated. As lawyers say of cross examination, always stop with a victory. Good one. Icarus falling from the sky. His father, Daedalus, fashions wings of wax that allow allow the true man to fly out the labyrinth and escape the Minotaur. Elated by the triumphant escape and the feeling of flight, Icarus soars higher and higher until the sun melts the wings and he hurtles to his death. Authority. Princess 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 Princes and republics should content themselves with victory, for when they aim at more, they generally lose. The use of insulting language toward an enemy arises from the insolence of victory or from the false hope of victory, which latter misleads men as often in their actions as in their words. For when this false hope takes possession of the mind, it makes men go beyond the mark and causes them to sacrifice a certain good for an uncertain better. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Judgment. By taking a shape, by having a visible plan, you open yourself to attack. Instead of taking a form for your enemy to grasp, keep yourself adaptable and on the move. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. So law 48 means be water, my friend. From Bruce Lee. Keys to power. The human animal is distinguished by its constant creation of forms, rarely expressing its emotions directly. It gives them from through language or through socially acceptable rituals. We cannot communicate our emotions without a form. The forms that we create, however, change constantly in fashion, in style, in all those human phenomena. Representing the mood of the moment, we are constantly altering the forms we have inherited from previous generations, and these changes are a sign of life and vitality. Indeed, the things that don't change, the forms that rigidify, come to look to us in like death, and we destroy them. The powerful are often people who, in their youth, have shown immense creativity in expressing something new through a new form. Society grants them power because it hungers for and rewards this for of sort of newness. The problem comes later. When they often grow conservative and possessive, they no longer dream of creating a new forms. Their identities are set, their habits congeal, and their rigidity makes them easy targets. Power can only thrive if it is flexible in its forms. To be formless is not to be uh, amorphous. Everything has a form. It is impossible to avoid the formlessness. The power of power is more like that of water or mercury taking the form of whatever is around it. Changing constantly, it is never predictable. Changing Changing constantly, it is never predictable. The first psychological requirement of formlessness is to train yourself to take nothing personally. Never show any defensiveness. When you act defensive, you show your emotions, revealing a clear form. Your opponents will realize they have hit a nerve, and Achilles' heel, and they will hit it again and again. Make your face a formless mask, and you will infuriate and disorient your scheming colleagues and opponents. One man who used this technique was Baron James Rothschild, a German Jew in Paris, in a culture decidedly unfriendly to foreigners. Rothschild never took any attack on him personally. He furthermore adapted himself to the political climate, whatever it was. Rothschild accepted them one and all and blended in. While he adapted and thrived, never showing a farm, all the other great families that had begun the century immensely wealthy were ruined in the periods, complicated shifts and turns of fortune. Attaching themselves to the past, they revealed their embrace of a form. As you get older, you must early even less on the past. Be vigilant lest the form your character has taken makes you seem a relic. Never forget, though, that formlessness is a strategic pose. It gives you room to create tactical surprises as your enemy struggles to guess your next move. They reveal their own strategy, putting them at a decided disadvantage. It keeps the initiative on your side, putting your enemies in the position of never acting, constantly reacting. It follows their spine and intelligence. Remember, formlessness is a tool. Never confuse it with a go with the flow style or with a religious resignation to the twist of fortune. You use formlessness not because it creates inner harmony and peace, but because it will increase your power. Finally, learning to adapt to each new circumstance means seeing events through your own eyes and often ignoring the advice that people constantly paddle your way. It means that ultimately you must throw out the laws that others preach and the books they write to tell you what to do, and the sage advice of the elder rely too much on other people's ideas, and you end up taking a form not of your own making. Be brutal with the past, especially your own, and have no respect for the philosophies that are foisted on you from outside. Image: Mercury, the winged messenger, god of commerce, patron, saint of thieves, gamblers, and all those who deceive through swiftness. The day Mercury was born, he invented the ear. By that evening he made stolen the cattle of Apollo. He would scour the world, assuming whatever form he desired. Like the liquid metal named after him, he embodies the elusive, the ungraspable, the power of formlessness. Authority. Therefore, the consummation of forming an army is to arrive at formlessness. Victory in war is not repetitious, but adopts its form endlessly. A military force has no constant formation, water has no constant shape. The ability to gain victory by changing and adopting according to the opponent is called genius. And that's it for the video, the 48 Laws of Power. The book has been read completed. I have read every single chapter of it, and the videos are available on my YouTube channel. You can watch it if you want to listen to my book audiobooks. And next I'm going to read this book, The Concise Laws of Human Nature, and there are other books. I have bought other books of Robert Greene, like Human Nature, Mastery, Art. What is this? 33 Strategies of War. And there is another book called The Art of Seduction. So, okay. I have read the 48 Laws of Power. Now you tell me, guys, what book should I read for next? Okay. So this is The Art of Seduction. This is the 33 Strategies of War. This is Mastery. And this is Laws of Human Nature. Suggest me which book should I read, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.